Let's bring in Sajan and Rashid, who are here in the studio. We also have Mohan Kumar Mangalam, and Zainab is continuing to be with us. Zainab, it appears that people of Delhi have sent a message that they do not want a government which is at constant loggerheads, one that is looking for excuses, and one that is not looking for solutions.
Absolutely. The people of Delhi were sick and tired of the constant, bickering when it came to, the LG is not allowing us this, the bureaucrats are not helping us with that, the files are not going forward. And even if there was a grain of truth in it, the fact is, Aam Aadmi Party had lost its sheen. I'll give you a small anecdotal example. I have family who lives in GK, and you were just, one of your reporters was just mentioning Shikha Rai. The truth is, the parks there that are made, Shikha Rai would personally come and check those, although she was not the winning, she was not the sitting MLA there, Saurabh Bhardwaj was, but she would come there, she would bring Bansuri Swaraj there, and it was a big thing for the people of those small colonies, who appreciate the fact that there's actually, on-ground work. Another thing that worked in BJP's favor was RSS and the foot soldiers, the Swayam Sevaks. There was a lot of house-to-house campaigning. There was a lot of, work that BJP put in convincing people that we are going to give you better governance and better welfare compared to Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party just stuck to one theme, which is confrontational politics and playing the victim. It worked. If you remember in the first term of Kejriwal ji, when there was black ink thrown on him and all of that, that gave sympathy to Arvind Kejriwal ji. People were sympathetic towards him because he had that aura of a Aam Aadmi. So people felt, yes, he's a victim. He's being bullied by the big guns of politics. But what has happened is Kejriwal ji has now converted himself just like any other politician with all, with all the paraphernalia of a big politician, be it the car, be it the Sheesh Mahal. These things actually worked against him. So when he showed himself as a victim, the image that he had now constructed around himself was of this big national
Zainab,
politician.
we will be coming
People
back to you.
Didn't buy it anymore.
Give me a moment, Zainab. Sunny Ahluwalia of the Aam Aadmi Party is joining us as well. Sunny Ahluwalia, it doesn't look too good for you.
And Mr. Ahluwalia, I must ask you one question, The fact of the matter at this point in time is that it looks like that you have fought a decent battle, but the BJP has overpowered you in the battle in your home turf, from where your party, this party which was the latest and the last party in this country to be born out of a movement, was born. And many people, Mr. Ahluwalia, I still remember, I was one of them, I think Maria was also there. We have actually covered that movement. We have covered that movement day in, day out for days together. Hours, days together. There was a generation of voters who are now 29, 30, who are now working class voters of Delhi, which in the first election did not even know the name of your candidates, and the party just voted for the symbol. Many observers, Mr. Ahluwalia, in the recent past have been writing that the hopes of that entire generation were dashed by the conduct of the Aam Aadmi Party, because you became just another political party, and those people, those youngsters of 18 years old to 35-year-olds at that point in time when we were covering that movement, thought that you were the real harbinger of the change in Indian politics.
Still now, there is a lot of time left and we are only 5 seats away. Till now, there is a lot of time left and we are only 5 seats away. If 5 seats come here and there, all the result will be changed. Number 2, we all were professionals. I am a doctor by profession, and I joined Arvind Kejriwal because of the only one reason. And that was when the movement started against the anti-corruption. Now, what is the problem with the BJP? Now, BJP has also came on the same pitch. First, they used to say that they are giving free revenues, they are giving free to this. Now, they are also agreeing that social welfare scheme is important and it must be given to everyone. In Delhi, the election have changed right now. Why it has changed? Because first they used to talk about polarization. Now they have changed their stand and they have come to the local issues which we wanted, which we started. We said that people should have good education. Now they are also saying the same thing. We said there should be good health services to the people. They are saying the same thing. And the Delhi people were scared that whenever the BJP will come into power, free electricity, free bus service, everything will stop. But the Prime Minister has to say, Amit Shah has to say that we will continue with the same services which were provided by the Aam Aadmi Party. So one thing is very clear, we came to provide a social welfare scheme to the people, and in that we are successful. Second, we wanted to stop the polarization kind of politics. We are able to do that also. Still now, they were saying Arvind Kejriwal is not leading, they are trailing. Now Arvind Kejriwal is leading, Manish Sisodia is leading, and we are standing on the same table. There has been undeclared emergency in our nation. And what is the reason behind it? The Bharatiya Janata Party say we need double engine sarkar. What is double engine sarkar? That means they need a dictatorship. Why can't a federal democracy be present in India? Wherever they lose their election, they try to rule it from governor, lieutenant governor. They like to do these kind of things. On the other hand, what Aam Aadmi Party says, Aam Aadmi says that we should focus on the human resources. We should focus on the people. And this is our aim. And successfully, for the last 10 years, we were successful to do that. And in coming elections also, in coming election results also, you can clearly
News that is coming in now,
see that
Mr.
BJP
Ahluwalia,
has
there
also
seems
come
to
down
be
the same
some
scheme.
relief for the Aam Aadmi Party. At 10:41, Arvind Kejriwal appears to be leading. What is the margin of lead? We'll try and get that detail for the viewers. But Parvesh Verma is now trailing. Aishwarya is joining us from where Mr. Verma himself is. Aishwarya, if these numbers actually look that the tables have turned back for Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, it certainly appears that there is something that is going on here. Perhaps we are not able to catch that at the moment.
Well, certainly, and since the time the candidates were announced for the New Delhi Assembly constituency, all eyes were on this particular seat because it was a triangular fight between Parvesh Verma, Arvind Kejriwal and Mr. Sandeep Dixit, and a very close contest is being fought. After third round, what the information is something that we are learning. 343 votes Arvind Kejriwal is leading with, and certainly it is Parvesh Verma who was leading in the upcoming in the initial two rounds. He is now trailing. So we are right now present at his residence only. He confirmed to us this morning that he will speak, but let's wait for the results. And that's what the messaging from the top BJP leadership was early up in the morning, that let's wait till the final results doesn't arrive, don't celebrate too much. And that's where Parvesh Verma's picture comes in place. A very tough battle, but Parvesh Verma is glued to the television screens and he's watching these results very closely. He's direct in contact with the with those officials and the Bharatiya Janata Party workers who are there at the polling station as well. 343 seats is something Parvesh Verma is trailing after 3 rounds, is something that the information we are getting.
Round 5 is what we are being told by our research team, Ash. It says that Kejriwal is still leading at 10,294 by 386. That's the gap between him and Parvesh Verma, who has so far polled 9,908. So that margin isn't really much. Remember last time around, Mr. Kejriwal had won by 21,687 votes. And certainly that's the Chief Minister's constituency. That's how it is often described.
Absolutely.
From Sheila Dikshit to Mr. Kejriwal, New Delhi constituency is the Chief Minister's constituency, and it's a bellwether seat.
The most prestigious. That I like that term, Mr. Kidwai.
Yeah, and Nikunj, you see, if Parvesh Verma defeats Arvind Kejriwal, he will be a contender. And a contender for chief ministerial post. More importantly, you look at that vote share, and vote share is very interesting. And my friend Sajjan, he knows numbers better than me. He's from data science. I'm from political science.
He's been holding to a contrarian view, and I like contrarian views.
Absolutely. So Nikunj, you see here, as per this, there's 49% BJP and 44% Aam Aadmi Party. So Aam Aadmi Party is not losing in a big way. It is only a chip of a middle class vote that has moved from Aam Aadmi Party that used to come during assembly election, not in Lok Sabha election, and going back to Lok Sabha election thing for the BJP. So that is a very crucial factor. It is not that all segments of society have left Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal is still getting. What is the point?
Mr. Kidwai, in any case, all sections of society will
44% vote is very significant, and the Congress has become very insignificant. So what they had in the past, 4.5%, they are on 5%.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have improved the tally, by the way.
No, this is not an improvement, because when you take this kind of gamble, again what Omar Abdullah is saying, if they had fought together, there are no ifs and buts in politics, things would have been perhaps different.
But Mr. Kidwai, you know it better than us.
Yeah.
You know it better than me. That 2 plus 2 doesn't always come to 5 in politics. Na?
Yeah, but in Lok Sabha election it has shown. I have to keep saying.
Anyhow, I must get my friend Sajjan here in the conversation. Yes, you have a contrarian view about the numbers as they are reflecting right now, and you have been constantly pointing out towards a keener, closer contest.
Precisely. I mean, that's precisely because, I mean, of the ground thing that I still hold that while there was anti-incumbency intense among the middle class, and the poor segment was also not enthused, there were complaints. Going by the voter psychology, it's very difficult to assume that the poor vote base, which is a tangible beneficiary of the schemes, even if it's complaining about the sewage, garbage, all sort of a thing, abandoning the incumbent which has been delivering and then jumping the gun, that is something that I'm still holding on. So I'm not now questioning the direction will be changed, but what I am saying that perhaps I may go wrong, certainly, because most of the exit polls predicted otherwise, that the gap would be a bit closer, maybe 40-30 something, or a seat here and around.
Okay, Sajjan, just
a fair point.
Yeah, just a moment, because let's ask Juhi to put that data on air about the vote share and the shift from 2020. That will give us a bit of clear picture. And that is, just look at this number now, vote share. 49%, 49% to the BJP, 44% to the Aam Aadmi Party. BJP has made a gain of 10%. They were at 39%.
And loss of 10%.
Yeah, and it's the loss of 10%.
And Congress, as it is,
a huge gap.
Exactly.
And in what clearly is a bipolar contest here now.
And Maria, it's not just about the class. It's also the swing voter primarily comes from the Purvanchali voter.
Yes.
Purvanchali. So it's Pahadis and Purvanchalis. Pahadis have been consistent in both assembly and because last time Manish Shishodia in Patparganj, when the Uttarakhandi votes is in significant number. So Uttarakhandi voter, but this time it seems that the Purvanchali voters in a significant way who otherwise constitute the lower middle class to the poor segment. But in Lok Sabha, so they chose to, a section of, it seems, them chose to trust Modi and BJP, and that is where Northeast Delhi, North Delhi, wherein you find.
So I may say that nothing has changed from what happened 6 months ago. BJP 6 months ago was at 51%.
Yes.
Now, if this number actually holds, it is at 49%. So Anil Antony, come in on this now. A 49% vote share is similar to what happened 6 months ago when the BJP won 7 on 7, polling is 51%. Anil?
Thank you for having me in the show. This has been a day Thank you for having me in the show. This is a very decisive victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party. We are still only 5 rounds into counting. We are very sure that by the day the counting is over, our margin will be even higher. These results, yes, if you are looking at vote share, it is similar to a Lok Sabha performance. But you look at Delhi, always there was a perception that there is a difference in the voting pattern during the Lok Sabha and the assembly elections, and that is what we saw in the previous 2 elections. But this time the people of Delhi have spoken, and after the resounding victory we had, our 3rd straight victory in the Lok Sabha elections. One thing that we saw in many of the state elections, whether it was Maharashtra, whether it was Haryana, and now in New Delhi, in Delhi, everywhere is that people are now saying that they want progress, they want development, they want double engine governments. They know that for the next 5 years it is going to be a very strong Bharatiya Janata Party led by a Prime Minister in the national stage. And we are creating a lot of projects as well as policies that are meant to reach out to masses, to empower the man for growth. And people are saying that they would like state governments that is also aligned to that vision, and they would like double engine governments. You look at Delhi specifically, there are other reasons also, like the Aam Aadmi Party. Historically, it came many years back as an anti-corruption crusade. It was telling that it was against VIP culture, it was against Parivarwad. It stood for good governance. But in the last 10 years, everything we have seen from the Aam Aadmi Party and their governance is exactly opposite what they are saying. A few months back, almost every minister, including the chief minister, was in jail. They are convicted by different courts. Some of them are having grave allegations. They said that they are going to make Yamuna into something similar to Thames, but now it has become a toxic dump yard. This was a state where even 10 years back, when India's GDP was a 2 trillion economy, Delhi was a state which had almost 10,000 crores of surplus. Now it has become almost a deficit state. Then when Mr. Kejriwal went to jail, Sunita Kejriwal was trying to emerge as one of the faces of the Aam Aadmi Party. During the Lok Sabha elections, the Aam Aadmi Party
celebration shots coming in from AAP workers. What is the trigger for that AAP workers are celebrating with such great enthusiasm and zeal, Mr. Ahluwalia? Or do we have any reporter who can put it in perspective?
No, things are very clear. In the initial 5 rounds, the result is not far. The difference, according to what we are showing, is 36 and 34. So if the BJP is saying that we are leading, they are leading where? It hardly the difference of two seats, and in 2 seats also we are recovering soon. So definitely you will see that even in Arvind Kejriwal ji is leading, and things will be clear very soon, and the results will be clear, and Aam Aadmi Party will form government in Delhi for the 4th time.
Mr. Ahluwalia, yes.
Yeah, Sajjan, I'll again come back to you, my friend. The interesting point you made that, and this is amongst the bottom of the pyramid voters, it's a difficult kind of a shift to make all the time. Where you have a guaranteed welfare stream, not one or not two, but a stream flowing into your coffers, and still you choose. Obviously, this result. See, look, I am not a pathologist and I am not a number cruncher, but the result tells me something, that it is very, very comprehensive and very, very convincing. I am not calling it overwhelming, but I am saying very, very convincing shift of voters from AAP to the BJP, which means that as I said in the beginning of the broadcast, Maria, that the enduring love affair, enduring image of Mr. Modi and the BJP and Mr. Modi and Delhi is actually coming to the fruition and coming to the salvation of BJP finally after 3 days.
And this also shows that BJP's reach
is their biggest guarantee.
No, BJP's reach among the poor voters, the landscape is increasing, because Delhi has been out of bound for BJP as far as assembly election is concerned. Now it seems that while middle class obviously was the consolidated bloc, BJP convinced, be it Purvanchalis, be it Uttarakhandis, or be it others, but the lower segment voters economically. So which means that BJP's subaltern outreach in terms of the caste as well as in terms of the class, is expanding.
That subaltern outreach, Mr. Kejriwal, is a very good point he makes. Look, subaltern outreach also worked for BJP in so many ways in Maharashtra.
Yes.
Subaltern, it was that only that finally nailed the
I think that is where I have
MBA.
disagreement with Sajjan. I think it's there. You see, Aam Aadmi Party has bashed the BJP booth by booth, block by block, vote by vote. Where the Aam Aadmi Party has faltered, it was beyond them actually, is the middle class, the chartered accountants.
Why was it beyond them?
Let me come to it. Because they were voting for BJP in the Lok Sabha and they were voting for Arvind Kejriwal in the Assembly. And that 5, 6, 7% vote has tilted the scales. It's very simple.
No, but Mr. Kejriwal, that was as the Chief Minister of Delhi, as a man who's himself from middle class, who's an income tax officer.
He's Agarwal. Wait. Agarwals have not voted for him.
Mr. Kejriwal, let me not go to the caste. Let me not get to the brass tacks.
It's all about caste.
Let me not get to. No, it's no more about just about.
It is.
No, that landscape is changing. We'll come to that later. Let me not have a quarrel into that point. Let me not have.
It will never change. In India, people don't.
Let's not forget, 8 months down the line.
In India, people don't cast their vote. They vote for their caste.
That's an old dictum, Mr. Kejriwal, according to me.
Yes, people vote their caste.
That dictum is behind us. All I'm saying, Mr. Kejriwal, is that it was well within Mr. Kejriwal's reach, like Mrs. Sheila Dikshit previously displayed. Mind you, that was on display in this very city, in this national capital of ours. When she died, most of the major newspapers said the maker of the modern New Delhi died. Why?
Why? Because Churchill lost after winning World War.
But
this mandate is not.
But the fact of the matter is, what Mr. Kejriwal could have done in terms of infrastructure, what Mr. Kejriwal could have done for middle class constituency, many neutral observers would say he certainly turned his face away from that.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. I think I would say Mr. Kejriwal played his, victim card. Bit too much. Overplayed it. Yeah. All the things. But for me, most important part of this election, regardless of the outcome, is that Mr. Kejriwal is holding on to, a large number of vote share. Normally, elections, Sheila Dikshit, when she lost badly. Congress got 24% vote, then they got 4%, 2%, 5% vote. So Kejriwal is holding on to 44%. This is very commendable in the given circumstances.
Okay.
Very commendable, says.
Anil
Mr.
Anthony
Kejriwal.
continues to be with us. Anil, okay, we will go to Anil Anthony. We are looking at 11 a.m. now, and it's very clear that people of Delhi have chosen the BJP, and they have decided that when it comes to the national capital, they do not want any multiplicity of agencies. They do not want any chaos between the state government and the central government. They want complete coherence and in sync functioning, which was not happening for the last few months and years. Sajjan, that will be a fair assessment.
Precisely. Now the direction is not under question. It's just about the margin and the tally.
Absolutely.
To which you stick to your guns and maintain that it'll be a convincing number for Mr. Kejriwal, as Mr. Kidwai says. That's commendable.
It won't be a humiliation. Put it other way around, kind of.
No, but what does it mean for a party? What does it mean for a party whose emergence is from this city-state?
And from the middle class.
From the middle class.
Yeah.
And the middle class has shifted very clearly, partially, I would say. And that has happened post the budget. I think one of the needle shifting moment was the budget day, where finance minister, during the later part of her speech, went ahead and made that announcement. We cannot take away from that the BJP strategy was playing out at multiple
Maria,
levels.
you are saying, the auctioning of vote has taken place, and it's the better bidder has won.
No, I would say, Mr. Kidwai, no, I would also not agree with Maria's formulation. I would say that there was an inflection point that day. There was an inflection point, probably convincing the voters, but
Arvind
at the
Kejriwal
lower end of the spectrum, that BJP is giving them a more respectful package for their work. But I would say that the middle class voters have been now deserting Mr. Kejriwal, if not in droves, then slowly, bit by bit over the years. And middle class voters in the city were convinced that Mr. Kejriwal thinks that it's only the freebie politics that he needs to dabble in to hold on to his power. And that convincing did not happen overnight. It happened over a period of time. Might be finance minister's stroke was the final inflection point.
Yes, and also, when a movement which turns into a party until it enjoys the normative edge, a middle class, rational, a different vision, anti-corruption. Now you see with Aam Aadmi Party, all the normative edge it used to have, of a new vision, of anti-corruption, it lost all the plank, So that is why it was holding on to the ground precisely because of the freebies and the facilities it was providing to the better. Since the demographic weight of the poor is more, and that has been keeping the BJP out. So my assessment of a conservative estimate, contrarian to the most of the exit poll scenarios, is precisely based that when demography is weighing in favor of a freebie and the facility kind of a politics, even if the party loses the normative weight, middle class abandons it. That's a crisis. Normative weight you have lost. That happened with the CPM after Nandigram and Shilpur.
That's what I'm saying. It has been happening over a period of time.
Exactly.
Happening over a period of time. It cannot happen overnight particularly in a homogeneous city like Delhi.
I would go a step further. You see, the democracy is undergoing, not only India, elsewhere also, a lot of change. The whole concept of, the middle class is very self-centered and self-obsessed. That the political science theories of Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, or the maximum, happiness to maximum number and all is on a trail worldwide. Not in Delhi alone.
Mr. Kidwai, even the bottom of the pyramid and top of the pyramid are very self-centered people. Why are you abusing my middle class viewership?
No, not my.
Why are you abusing my middle class viewership? Middle class people are as less self. They are probably most altruistic people because they are highly educated people. The middle class is the most altruistic people. Most selfless.
We can go on arguing. You see, who's the one who produces, who's the one who works hard.
But that is a classical theory that is probably being offended now.
Not that. If you say that service class or intermediate class is doing that, a beneficiary of both sides. So anyway, in nutshell, what I'm saying, not to take away anything away from the BJP. What BJP is able to do, they are able to hold on to their core voter of Lok Sabha in the state assembly, and that's a long and short of it.
Okay, hello viewers, it's 11 a.m. and the picture is more or less clear. There is no picture abhi baki hai anymore, and it's clear that BJP is forming the government in Delhi. The 27-year long vanwas seems to have ended. Lots have worked for the party. The people of Delhi have given a clear mandate for change. And at 11 a.m., we can also say that Arvind Kejriwal's own battle playing out in New Delhi seems to be getting a little tricky here, because Parvesh Verma of the BJP is now leading at 11 a.m. Roughly around 7 rounds of counting over, 4 to 5 more rounds to go. But if the chief minister or the convener or the face of the party loses, what does it mean besides him losing the state? Sajjan?
It's a massive loss of face.
I mean, not only massive loss, it's a sort of poetic justice what he did to the Sheila Dikshit. I mean, Congress may have been unpopular, but by any measurement, Sheila Dikshit
wasn't.
Personally,
yes.
I mean, the way she was defeated, I mean, sometimes electorates are also ruthless, you know. I mean, relentlessly, and therefore, I think it would be a poetic justice. I mean, no one would be more.
In the old times, Sajjan, when war was to take place, conventional war, the moment, you know, the king or the person commander was this thing, and it would have worked the end of the war. But again, Mamta also lost, but her party won.
Yeah.
Biju Patnaik also lost in the old time,
yes.
and but the Kalinga Congress had won. So there are a lot of things are there. I mean, I'm just saying that, see, it's a well-fought election and a better party that had a lot of preparations in terms of booth management, in terms of vote issues, in terms of projection.
And AAP's showcase is always retaining power in Delhi across India. If they lose Delhi, you know, it would be difficult to continue the forte.
And from the fact that, as I said, that the genesis of this party is in this city.
Yes.
We have all covered that.
Remember, Praja Rajyam party, it started off so well, and then it's nowhere.
Yeah. It's the genesis, it's the bedrock of their politics.
Precisely.
That bedrock crumbles, everything goes for a toss.
Yeah.
Okay.